Hey Theater Mania, it's Michael Urie. I'm hosting the Drama Desk Awards this year. What do the Drama Desks mean to me? To me, the Drama Desks are the only award in theater that really represents all of New York theater. You can have somebody from off-Broadway be competing with somebody on Broadway. I feel like because of that, they're really the only awards that include the entire community. I feel pretty good about hosting. There are giant shoes to fill of Benanti, not just because she's a size 13.
For the second year in a row, I have the great honor of being the only person willing to host the Drama Desk Awards.
I know the audience is right, and they're going to be really happy to be there. We're going to get some incredible people to present. We're going to have funny jokes, some great numbers, and it's going to be a really good night. We're going to keep it quick so that the drinking can commence. Come join me at the Drama Desk Awards, June 5th, 8 o'clock at the Town Hall. You can buy tickets at DramaDeskAwards.com, or you can watch us streaming on TheaterMania.com. It's going to be great.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, so I'm so excited that you're here. Michael Urie, everybody.
Good afternoon. Hello.
You are one of those guys that I think people, myself included, whether or not they've ever met you, just feel like they know you.
Oh.
Your energy is so palpable on screen.
Oh.
And I think that's why you're going to be the perfect host for the Drama Desk Awards.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited about hosting the Drama Desk Awards because it's going to be a room full of amazing theater people.
Yeah.
Not only the people who make the theater, but the people who most love the theater. And I can think of no better audience besides the AOL BUILD audience.
So what I learned in researching the Drama Desk Awards is that there are two things that set it apart from the other awards around this time in New York theater. First of all, it's Broadway, off-Broadway, and off-Broadway all competing in the same categories.
Correct.
And secondly, it was all the people who vote are critics and journalists.
Yeah.
As opposed to a lot of the other awards, it's producers and people who have a financial stake in some of the nominees.
Right. Or designers and actors and other types that make theater.
Right. And so this is just people who view it for a living.
Right. And there are 270 shows considered for the Drama Desk, which means there are some crazy people who have seen 270 shows throughout the season, which is one show every like 32 hours.
And how can I get that job?
You would be perfect for that job.
Oh, well, can you put in a good word for me?
How many times do you go to the theater a week?
Like 4 times a week.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
4 times a week.
I love it.
I don't even bathe 4 times a week. That's a joke.
I mean, I don't know how to respond to that. Will you be bathing before the Drama Desk Awards on Sunday?
I didn't bathe here. You saw me change in the green room.
Dab, 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 dab. But your hair somehow always manages to look fantastic. I'm so jealous of those curls.
Thank you. They do whatever they want. The more humid, the better for these things.
Well, you look fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, and you're doing so much. So there's the Drama Desk Awards.
Yes.
By the way, if you're in New York City, you can buy tickets to see the Drama Desk Awards at DramaDeskAwards.com.
Correct.
If you're not in New York City, you can watch them stream live at TheaterMania.com. That's theater with an E-R. And if you do want to buy tickets, I understand you have a special code just for our viewers.
MU10.
MU10
is the special code, and it's 10% off, and it's gonna be a great show to be in the room for. I mean, you can watch it on TheaterMania.com and get the whole thing, but if you're there in the room, I think there'll be lots of famous people, lots of exciting stars, and there'll be musical numbers and really fun presenters, and I have a few things up my sleeve. It's gonna be a really good show.
We're having gonna sing.
I'm not at liberty to say whether or not
I'm taking that as a yes.
But that we're going to have a lot. There's surprises, great presenters. We've been having so much fun putting it together. And it's at Town Hall, June 5th. And you would love coming.
You are a Drama Desk Award winner.
Correct.
Multiple Drama Desk Award winner.
Thank you.
What's the difference in terms of your
winning and losing? Winning is better.
No, and I was going to ask about being nominated and hosting. I mean, I imagine there's an element of of anxiety and preparation that goes into both?
Yeah, well, hosting is, obviously there's like a lot of stress involved with hosting because you have to do the show, but it's more fun to think about going to the Drama Desk Awards and hosting and knowing what I'm going to say and knowing who I'm going to interact with and what I have to work with, as opposed to being nominated and potentially losing. Because who wants
I thought it was an honor just to be nominated.
It is, of course it's an honor just to be nominated, but that tension of like, oh my God, are they going to say my name or are they going to say somebody else's name? That's a very like palpable terrifying feeling, that moment right before. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in that situation where they list all the names.
No, I've never been nominated for anything.
And then, I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, you're young. And then they open an envelope and they say your name or they say somebody else's name, but no matter what, you have to be happy and all that stuff. And of course, like 10 minutes after it's over, you don't even care anymore.
Right, well, that's the thing is that once your category is done, you can just relax and enjoy your night.
Exactly.
Whereas when you're hosting, you have to be on the whole time.
Yeah, but my feeling is like if the hosting, I feel, and who knows what I'll feel like on Sunday, but I feel like no matter what, I'm gonna have a blast, and I guess you do if you're nominated as well. But I'm gonna have a great time, and I get to do a lot of things. I get to say hi to all the people I want to say hi to, and everyone's gonna know I'm there because I'm the host.
Every eye in the room will be on you.
Yeah.
Take us behind the scenes of what it means to plan an award show like this. It was announced a couple weeks ago that you were hosting. When did you get involved with like making that promo video we saw? Are you involved in the writing process? How much has your life been dedicated to the Drama Desk Awards?
Let's see. It's been a couple of months. I've known for a couple of months. We made that video probably a month ago. Took those photos and everything, and then for the last few weeks, I've been working with Billy Rosenfield, who's the writer, and Jack Cummings, who's the director, and then everyone at the Joey Parnes office who produce it, plus everyone at Theater Mania who own the Drama Desk. So I've been working with them on the things that I'm going to do on the night, and then, of course, writing all the things that I will say. But also, I've been helping choose who will be presenting. Which is really fun. Sometimes I'm even the one who asks people, and I say, hey, Judith Light, do you want to come and present? Or something like that.
Give us some more names.
Who
else is
I'm not allowed. I'm not even confirming that she's one of them. She's
theoretical.
Probably one of them. But to be part of those conversations is really fun because I've been watching award shows my whole life, and it's always fun to imagine, oh, what if so-and-so and such presented this award, or and then what would they say and what would they talk about, and so it's a really fun show to put together in that respect. Plus, it's all of New York theater, so there's so many shows and there's so many people to choose from, and so many different types of shows, from solo shows to big, huge musicals to weird off-Broadway, unique special event shows.
Well, unique theatrical experience is a category that at one point the Tonys had a similar category but no longer do, and Drama Desk still does, and they also still have the sound design category, and then they have categories like best wigs and hair, which I'm really excited to see.
Or best music for a play.
And is there a best song? I don't know about that.
No, there's not a best song.
Oh.
No. Wrong. But there's best music and
best music in a play.
Best music in a play, and then there's best music and there's best lyrics, which I believe they're separate. Am I right about that? I could be wrong about that.
There's so many categories
that
are all so exciting. But go to dramadeskawards.com and check out the list of categories and list of nominees.
It's very inclusive. It's such a community award because the entire community is represented. The entire New York theatrical community is represented. I mean, not that the Tonys aren't inclusive. It's just that it's just Broadway, or the Lortel Awards are just off Broadway. Drama Desk really is, anybody who does theater in New York is up for it.
What is your first memory of watching an award show as a kid, and did you ever imagine that you would be hosting one?
Oh, wow. I mean, Billy Crystal hosting the Oscars I remember very vividly when he hosted the year of City Slickers, and Jack Palance won for Best Supporting Actor, and he did one-handed push-ups.
I will never forget
Remember that? And then for the rest of the night, Billy Crystal made jokes about Jack Palance and his one-handed push-ups, and that was, and I always think about that specific moment as being, you know, what made that night so special was that Billy was hosting, Jack won, and that he did those 100 push-ups, which is, I'm sure, wasn't planned. Or if Jack Palance had planned it, he probably didn't tell
the writers
or Billy Crystal that he was going to do that. Even if he did, it's so brilliant, and it carried on the entire show into the next year. I mean, the next year, Billy Crystal's entrance was on a giant Oscar on its side, being dragged by Jack Palance. I think holding by a strap in his teeth or something. And I remember being so blown away by the dedication to that comic bit of Jack Palance. Just this idea that I'm going to mine Jack Palance for all the comedy I can. And I feel like that's the kind of thing, that kind of spontaneity in an award show is really fun, because at the end of the day, like, how can you compare two different works? You know, like, it ultimately is a great honor to win one of these awards or to be nominated for one of these awards, but really the whole thing is just a celebration of the work in general, and the more fun that can be had while doing so, I think the better.
Well, I think that's a perfect reason to bring someone like you on as the host, because I know that you are classically trained, you went to Juilliard, you have this extensive Shakespearean tradition in terms of your own acting work, but you have owned this in such an admirable way. Like, when you walk down the street, people are like, "Gay guy from Ugly Betty. What's up, gay guy from Ugly Betty?" So you have this ability to train and prepare, but also to be silly and frivolous, quote unquote, when you need to be. And I feel like you'll be able to improvise those moments with the help of the writers or the rest of the team in a really exciting way. So I can't wait to watch.
Totally. And we are preparing so many things, and also being ready to throw any number of things out if something exciting and fun happens in the room on the night. And that's going to be the best part, I think.
So I was looking down the list of nominees, and I noticed that there are some other Juilliard grads that are nominated, like Danielle Brooks, who I love. And I wondered if...
Ben Walker from American Psycho.
Yes, thank you. American Psycho, by the way.
Fantastic.
I'm obsessed with it.
I'm seeing Color Purple tomorrow.
Oh, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited.
There's so much good stuff on Broadway and
really
off-Broadway
good
and off-Broadway right now.
It's a really good season.
Well, I'm wondering whether you, as a Juilliard grad, have that same kind of school pride that, like, you know, a big football school has, where you want the other Juilliard kids to win because of your pride.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Ben Walker was a year behind me at Juilliard, and was wonderful then, and has always been the greatest guy. And I am so happy. I mean, of course, all of his success, Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson and the movies he's been in, but he is so good in American Psycho. And is that you, Ben? No. And I'm so happy that the Drama Desk has given so much love to American Psycho, because it is really cool. It's a really cool show. It's very different. The music is awesome. It's so of a piece. You know, everything fits perfectly within American Psycho.
I mean, I could talk to you for like 2 hours just about that show, but yeah, I want to
Let's
talk
get
more
back
about
to
your
me.
project. So you are also, so you've got a play that you did here in New York City for a couple of years called Buyer and Seller.
Correct.
That continued to run around the country and with some other actors, but you are coming back to it at the Westport Country Playhouse, and it's being filmed. For
WNET Channel 13, yes. I'm so excited about this. We did it off-Broadway. We did it off-Broadway first.
Rattlestick.
At the Rattlestick, and then we did it off-Broadway at the Barrow Street, and then I went on a national tour with it, and then I did it in London. And that was a year ago, so I hope I remember it.
This is a 1 or 2 hour long show.
It's a 100-minute monologue.
Right.
Yeah.
And you play a bunch of characters, including Barbara Streisand.
Including Barbara Streisand and James Brolin.
What's the one sentence overview of this play for people who don't know it?
It's a totally fictional tale about a completely fake guy who gets hired to work in the absolutely real street of shops that Barbara Streisand has in her basement. So yeah, I know. It's a lot to unpack.
Barbara really has a mall in her basement.
That's right. She has a street of shops where she keeps her collectibles. There's a dress shop, a doll shop, an antique store, a gift shoppy. And in the play that Jonathan Tollins wrote...
Which buyer and seller, by the way, is spelled C-E-L-L-A-R.
It's a pun.
A reference to the basement
It's a pun.
situation.
And so in the play... Jonathan Tollins imagines that a guy gets hired to work down there and be the clerk, and not just to dust or do inventory, but to pretend to sell things
that Barbara already owns.
That she already owns, and she's his only customer. And I know it sounds so odd. I haven't told the story in a while, but it's such a good play. It's about isolation. It's about fame, it's about loneliness, it's about connection, it's about so many, it's a huge idea told through this very odd, bizarre, really ultimately, he got the inspiration from a joke. John was with people talking about the mall in Barbara's basement, and he said, "How'd you like to be the guy who works down there?" And someone's like, "That's a play. You should write it." And he did. And we never could have imagined that it would be so universal in terms of how much everyone, from all walks of life, have been touched by this play. We've been dying to get it on film, and so now we get to do it. And the Westport Country Playhouse has been kind enough to invite our production, our designers and the director, and me and the stage manager and everybody to go and do it again, and it'll live forever.
Yay! And meanwhile, you also have a series on Logo that's airing.
Correct.
Starting also on June 5th, same day as the Drama Desk Awards.
Yeah, that's right. So Cocktails and Classics starts June 5th, and it's every Sunday night, for however many episodes we did. And it's basically like a movie club. Logo is the network that is geared towards LGBT people, but these movies are so good, even if you're... you'll like it.
Even straight people can watch Logo. I love it.
And we start off on June 5th with 9 to 5, and basically it's me and my friends dishing about the movie and talking about the movie, and occasionally we'll get somebody from the movie or an expert on the movie.
Dolly Parton, by the way.
Yeah, we Skyped with Dolly Parton, who it was pretty awesome. We Skyped with Dolly Parton. She said my name.
Are you guys besties now?
No. She probably doesn't even remember me.
Maybe she'll build a mall in her basement and invite you to come work there.
Oh, maybe the sequel to Byron Seller is the guy who runs Dollywood.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, we're onto something. So this season, this is season 3 of Cocktails and Classics, and me and Shangela, aka DJ Pierce from RuPaul's Drag Race, and Michael Musto, and Drew Droege, and Jessica Shaw from Entertainment Weekly, and a lot of other really fun people that are on the rotating panel. And we drink cocktails and we watch movies, and it's a blast. We did 9 to 5 and First Wives Club and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and these are movies that you need to see. They're
Well, I haven't seen a lot of these movies,
Yes.
and my cable package just changed, so I have Logo. So I'm make a weekly date with you
Great.
and re-educate myself
Great.
on some of these movies I've missed over the years.
It's also really fun if you have seen the movie, if it's a movie that you love. It's perfect if you've never seen the movie, but if it's a movie you love, like if you know every word of 9 to 5, then the only better way to watch it would be to watch it with us, because we too know every word, and it's sort of like watching with friends. I'm told.
And you're also a director. So I just watched was it your directorial debut?
Yes, of a narrative movie. I co-directed a documentary film previously.
Okay, but your feature film
That's right.
directorial debut is called He's Way More Famous Than You.
Yep.
It is a meta movie. It's a movie about the making of itself, sort of. It's
Kind of, yeah.
satire.
I liked what you said, title of show, the movie.
Right, it's the title of show of movies. For those
people
of you
who know,
the
yeah,
Broadway
theater
show,
people,
title of show.
yeah.
It was written by your partner Ryan Spahn and Hallie Pfeiffer,
Who also star in it.
and you star.
I'm also in it. Yeah.
Sort of as yourself, but really as the gay guy from Ugly Betty, which everybody insists on calling you.
Sort of a sadder version of myself. Everyone's sort of a warped version of themselves. Hallie's a crazier version of herself. Ryan's sort of a dumber version of himself, and I'm a sadder version of me.
It's such a quirky, awkward, amazing, hilarious movie.
Oh, thank you.
And I can't believe it came out in 2013. I can't believe I missed it then. It not only makes me excited about, sort of, again, mining into movies, which isn't, I'm at the theater so much I don't have time to watch movies, but also to see what you come up with next in your role as a director.
Oh, cool.
Can you give us any?
Since he's way more famous than you, I directed a short film called The Hyperglot, which is a really cool film about a guy who a hyperglot is somebody who can speak 10 or more languages, and it's about this guy who can speak. He lives in New York and he can speak every language, but he can't meet a woman, and it's a sort of.
You can give him my phone number.
And it's a really wonderful film. Played lots of. We won all these festivals, and it's also on iTunes. All these movies are on iTunes. And then Hallie and Ryan and I teamed up again for a web series that's on Stage17.tv called What's Your Emergency, which has Reed Birney and Sierra Boggess, who are in The Humans and School of Rock this season in the theater. So that was really fun, and we did 6 episodes. It was like this, it was this bizarre and hilarious world of morons who work at 911, and then now I'm not sure what the next step is for me as a director. I'm there's like projects that I'm working on, or working with writers and hoping, but films take a long time to get going, as do theater projects, and I don't know what's next.
We're going to take a couple questions from the audience.
Okay.
First, I heard a rumor that there's going to be an Ugly Betty reunion.
There is going to be an Ugly Betty. Not a rumor. It's truth.
It's true.
It's going to be at the ATX Festival in Austin on June the 11th. It's a panel discussion.
We're busy in June,
and
man.
I know when America sent us all the emails saying we're all going to Austin, I was like, please don't be June, please don't be June, please don't June 11th. But that's okay. It's worth it. It's going to be so good. It's the first time we've all been together. We've kept. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but like that cast was super tight, and I know people say that all the time, but they're not. They're lying. This cast was really close. We were really like a family. So this is the first time we've all been together at the same time. And I'm pretty sure almost everyone can go. I think there's like 1 or 2 cast members who have, someone's getting surgery or something like that. But
how deep are we going? Is Patti LuPone, who played your mom, going to be
Oh,
there?
no, she's not coming. No, not.
Can you call her? I mean, you did a show with her at Lincoln Center. You know her pretty well, right? Get her there.
It's series regular. It's the series regular. It's series regulars. No, not.
I just want Patti to be involved in everything.
She was really good as my mother. And we had other amazing guest stars, but it's going to be like America and Vanessa and Becky and Anna Ortiz and Tony Plana, who played Betty's dad, and Mark Indelicato, who's not little anymore, and Eric Mabius, of course, and I think Rebecca Romaine's coming, and Judith Light, and it's going to be so great. Entertainment Weekly is doing a whole thing on it. Jessica Shaw is moderating this panel discussion, and it's going to be so fun to be together again, and hopefully after that, someone will pick it up and put it back on TV, since apparently that's the trend, is rebooting TV shows. So that would be nice.
Well, we will all be watching. Let's take a couple questions.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
I'm so excited for the Ugly Betty reunion, and I was wondering if you could revive any Broadway production, what would it be?
Ooh. You mean like to be in myself, or like to see?
Either one.
Gosh, that's a good question. I One of my favorite. Well, I just did in the fall. I was in a production of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum with Chris Fitzgerald, who you just did one of these with, who is brilliant and nominated for Tonys and Drama Desk for Waitress. He played Pseudolus, and I was Hysterium, his sort of sidekick, and it was the most fun. It was so stupid and so fun. It's a brilliant show. He was a brilliant Pseudolus, so I'd have to go with that. Because
I've already started my campaign to get that show.
Forum Broadway?
Broadway, yeah.
Hashtag Forum Broadway or off Broadway. I just think it should be in New York. It's so good. It's so funny. Chris Fitzgerald's wife, Jessica Stone, directed it brilliantly. It was an all-male production. And the audiences, we did it in Red Bank, New Jersey at the Two River Theater, and the audiences there ate it up. And it was a complete dream come true. So I would have to go with Forum.
Hey, what's the difference between off-Broadway and off-Broadway?
Great question.
Actually, literally, what's the difference? Well, it's a contractual thing. So it has to do with the Actors' Equity contract for the actors. I think I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure there's also seating. So if it's under 100 seats, it's off Broadway, for sure. And then there are some exceptions if it's over 100 seats, depending on the contract. And there's also, I think, off Broadway shows can only run for a certain amount of time. There's a limited length of the run.
Don't look at me like I know the answer to this question.
But then I also know that Broadway, to be a Broadway theater, it's about geography and seating capacity. It has to be like the Vivian Beaumont at Lincoln Center is the northernest Broadway theater, and the Nederlander, where Disaster played, is the southernest. And then it has to be between 6th Avenue and I think 9th Avenue and have 500 seats. So like there's this theater that's on 42nd Street called the New 42 that has like 499 seats.
Yeah.
And if they just added a seat, they could be a Broadway theater.
And all the actors would get paid a ton more.
And then all the actors would get paid more.
But also, those aren't the only requirements.
There are more?
There's a great TED Talk that Jen Tipper did.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, where she says the McDonald's on 42nd Street is in the right geographical area, and it has more than 500 seats, but it's not a Broadway theater.
Is that crazy? There's also a theater right across from McDonald's between the New Victory and the Lyric. There is a theater there. Right now it's all boarded up, but there is a Broadway theater that is just collecting dust and hoping to not become a shoe store. And the reason it's not a Broadway theater is because the loading dock is on 42nd Street instead of 43rd. And they can't, park a truck in front of on 42nd Street for a day or whatever.
The geography and the statistics thereof of Broadway are so fascinating.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that there are so many theaters collecting dust right now. It's crazy.
Hi, Michael.
Hi.
So there is a list of new shows coming out on Broadway. Is there one that you're looking forward to? And this is one of my favorite questions I asked all my theater friends. If you had like the winning ticket to see a show every single day for an entire year without getting bored of it, if you had a show, what would that be? And from that show, a song from that you like to do a karaoke session in your car.
Okay.
Sing proudly like you just don't care what it is.
So, yeah. Okay. So the question, I'm gonna work backwards. So it's I see the same show every day. The same show every, and not get tired of it?
American Psycho.
You'd go with American Psycho?
I might.
You wouldn't do Hamilton? That's a really good show.
I have no complaints about Hamilton.
I'm trying to think of like something I would never get tired. A show that I would never get tired of, and that you would find something new in every time. Obviously, Hamilton. There's so much going on. I mean, there's lines in Hamilton that feel like entire chapters of a book. But I think my first instinct. I'm gonna go with it. You're in Town. Remember that show? Mm-hmm. That show was so funny, and there was so many deep jokes that you would remember like 5 minutes later and start laughing all over again. And it was so well done. I remember Hunter Foster and Jeff McCarthy were brilliant in it. So maybe that one, and then maybe if I were to karaoke a song from that, I'd go with "Run Freedom Run."
Which goes like this.
Run freedom run away. My friends, you gotta run freedom run away.
Thank you so much. I think that's a perfect place to leave it.
But what was the first question?
Oh, there's like upcoming Broadway projects out. Can you give us like a hint of one that you're looking forward to
What
that we
is
can
coming
add to our
up?
list?
That's a good question. What's coming next season? You don't know? Nothing.
Put me on the spot.
Come on, Broadway girl. I don't know. I'm trying to think what's coming. Well, Cats. Hello. Again and forever. I have some friends in that. I will go see that for sure. I'll definitely go see Cats.
We'll go with, would you like to sing Memory?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Michael Urie.
Thank you so
Everybody
much.
tune into the
Thank
Drama
you
Desk
all.
Awards.
Thank you.
It streams live on theatermania.com. Follow Michael Urie at Michael Urie
At
on
Michael
Twitter.
Urie.
Follow AOL Build and follow me at Broadway Girl NYC. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.